My name is Gord Miller. I'm the Environmental Commissioner of Ontario, and I'm here today to release a report to the Legislative Assembly. My report is in response to a government report released about a week ago. The Ontario government released this report, the Climate Change Action Plan, which reports on greenhouse gas emissions achieved in Ontario during the previous year. My job is to critically evaluate that report, and I've done so, releasing my report today, Finding a Vision for Change. Now, simultaneous with this broadcast, I will be in a press conference in Queen's Park reading the following prepared remarks, which I'll now present to you. We are at a critical point in history. The international community has finally accepted the long-standing scientific consensus that climate change is a clear and apparent danger to our ecosystems and our societies. Nations are meeting in Copenhagen to try and agree on targets to further reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and there's some optimism that we may succeed. Ontario already has targets, of course, set back in 2007. We are pledged to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to 6% below 1990 levels by 2014, 15% below 1990 by 2020, and 80% below that baseline year by 2050. These are not aggressive targets, and not, according to the latest science, even adequate targets, but they're targets nonetheless. The problem is that the way we're going, we're not going to make even those modest targets for greenhouse gas emissions. We will fail. The Climate Change Action Plan, the province's latest report to the Ontario public on our progress in reducing greenhouse gases, says we will fail, and that's profoundly disturbing. It speaks to the essential challenge of our times. We can set targets, but we have to figure out how to meet them, and we haven't yet. All the measures proposed in 2007 that were expected to achieve over 60 megatons per year of reductions by 2014 are now only projected to amount to 34 megatons. And 3/4 of that, some 26 megatons, is the result of the coal plant closures alone. By 2020, only tiny reductions will be achieved in the transportation sector, a major source of greenhouse gases. Even smaller cuts will be achieved in the building sector, and no cutbacks at all in the industrial sector. The proposed mechanisms to reduce emissions in the plan are so weak that in the period between 2014 and 2020, emissions actually are forecasted to increase. The report suggests that we should place our hopes on cap and trade as a means of closing the gap between our promises and our projections. But cap and trade is largely beyond Ontario's control. If such a mechanism is achieved at all, others will negotiate it with little consideration for Ontario's needs and timelines. Somebody has to come up with homegrown solutions for Ontario because they're not in this plan. As a final concern is that we're not even sure who that somebody is. We are 2 years into a process, and it is not clear what individual government ministries have been tasked to do, and it's unclear who is accountable for achieving the results. This plan is projecting failure. The public deserves to have a clear understanding of efforts, what efforts are being made, and who is responsible to take the necessary corrective actions. Thank you.